Hey guys, it's your girl Amps, and I'm back with another episode of Recording the Amps. And of course, it's that time of the week where we talk about love in hip hop Atlanta. This episode is number 6, I think. I think this is number 6. We'll see. Anyways, we start this episode where we ended off last week, where Joseline's coming in to I guess M's bar. I guess that's where they are. And the only person that has showed up and has taken her request for the girls to come together is Jessica Dime. Now, we remember that Jessica Dime entered in on Love and Hip Hop, I want to say season before last, where she was claiming that she knew Joseline. She and Joseline were dancers together in Miami. And when she came to Atlanta, she couldn't really get in touch with Joseline. So she was talking to the other girls about it. And she kind of felt like Joseline kind of snubbed her. So after that, their beef has been everlasting, I guess. But Joseline said she shut up with an attitude, because Jessica was kind of like, I'm here, girl. But she said that she'd been thinking about Joseline ever since Joseline ended up pregnant, and they ended up talking about their drama, and they ended up squashing beef. I feel like their beef was petty anyway. I mean, it really wasn't that big of a deal. Like, Joseline said, you could have came and talked to me. You talked to the other girls, but you didn't really come talk to me, so it's whatever. And so now they're quote-unquote acquaintances. They're friends again. Jessica Dime said that she's going to have to think about Joseline's proposal about putting her in the video. And she says that the video is supposed to be about women's empowerment, which is supposed to be the theme of her whole video shoot. So, anyways, we cut to the next scene where Joseline is driving out to the country with his daughter Savannah. Apparently, he's gotten a new house for his family since his daughters are going to be there. And with the birth of Bonnie Bella looming, which we don't know if that's even his child yet, he wants to have a lot of space for where all his family can come. So Sade's there. His other daughter looks like she's going to take a year off from college, which Stevie said he's not happy about. But they end up talking about his beef with his other son, Dorian. I think that maybe he's the oldest son. And they had a little drama in the past where Dorian feels like Stevie wasn't there for him when he was growing up. And Stevie says that he stole some equipment from him. Stevie also went on the radio and they asked him about it, and he was just kind of like, I would never steal from my dad, talking about their drama. So he agrees that he should probably bury the hatchet with him. So the next scene, we got Cartoon Network mouth Moriah looking at spaces that she can't afford because Shooter ain't got no money. That's what we're doing. She claims that she wants to get out of the glam shop, and that Shooter's going to help her if he wants her to keep his secret about their little affair. And so she says that Shooter's been giving her money, been breaking her off some bread, $1,000 at a time, and now it's time for her to call in all her debts because she needs for Shooter to pay for this shop that she knows she can't afford on her own dime. So Shooter walks in, and he's like, what's this? And she is like, this is my shop, and you're going to need to pay for this. I need 70 bands. And he was like, oh, girl, you tripping. You tripping. You tripping. She said, if you want me to keep your secret, then you better go ahead and give me that money. He was like, girl, you better get the hell out of my face. I'm not paying for this because I ain't got it like that. You can go ahead and tell on me. I don't really care. Peace. And so I think this is going to be Moriah's last season because she's terrible. She's horrible. Like, you can't even be a mistress right. Like, you don't even play the affair right. Like, girl, you sound crazy. You sound nuts. You just sound nuts. You sound like single white female mixed with the roommate a little bit. Girl, you crazy. Ain't nobody gonna take you serious. This probably gonna be your last season unless you can pull a rabbit out your hat to get you on for next season. But I doubt it. This gonna be the last time we see Moriah. It really is. So we got Young Jock and Treasure P. They're at the radio station because we remember that Young Jock hooked Treasure P up with an internship at the radio station. So Young Jock in his multi-purpose shirt and Treasure P sat down, and Treasure P talks about her drama with Tommy. And she says she feels like as a mentor, Jock shouldn't be messing with somebody like Tommy. And is he also messing with Carly Red? Because if that's the fact, that she feels obligated to tell Cena, his baby mama, that this is what he has going on. Now, Jock said, well, hold up. You about to overstep your boundaries, and this ain't really your business. You know what I mean? And he starts telling her about the about what Rod told her about what Rod told her. That's what he sounds like. He a messy bitch, right? He starts telling Tracy P about what Rod told him about possibly dating Cena. And so Tracy P is like, I don't think that's true, which we're going to talk about that in a little bit. So they discuss whatever it is that they need to discuss, which this scene is really stupid because she was sitting down telling him that she feels like she should tell on him, but she going to tell him first that she need to tell on him. Okay. These scenes are really stupid. These scenes are stupid as hell, but I digress. We move on to the next scene where Lovely Mimi is meeting up with Cartoon Network mouth Moriah, and they meet. We cut to the next scene where Lovely Mimi is meeting up with Cartoon Network mouth Moriah. They meet up because they want to play yoga, and neither one of them have no beads of sweat, no nothing. They ain't even had their hair pulled back to do no goddamn yoga, so they decided to play yoga. So they talk about the drama with Sierra and Lovely Mimi wanting to leave. And then also Moriah talks about her wanting to leave as well. And it all depends on her investor that's coming up, that's going to cough up the money. And Sierra and Mariah's like, Moriah, I keep getting all their names mixed up. That's stupid as fuck. And Mimi is like, who's your investor? Who are you talking about? And Mariah's like, it's Shooter. Mimi's like, oh no, because you know, Lovely Mimi's married and she is against this whole I'm sleeping with married men type of thing, and she begs her to end the relationship. And Mariah's like, it's not me, it wasn't me, it just happened one night after Sierra asked me to take Shooter home, and he was drunk and I was drunk, and then it's not even really like that. I don't really want him like that. And so Mimi really thinks that she needs to go ahead and end this relationship, and that's where the end of that scene is. Scene where Stevie J is meeting up with his son Dorian to talk about their issues. And I have to say that I think he's been on this road or this kick for probably like the last maybe 2 seasons where he's trying to be the good guy, really trying to clean up his image, trying to stop being the creep guy, because all of the extra niggas that jumped on that same bandwagon, they are making him look terrible. So I think it's good that he's, you know, really trying to become a grown-up, really trying to handle situations in the best way possible, even if it's just for the show. So they talk about their issues, and he basically was saying, you know, Dorian was basically saying he wasn't there for him when he was growing up. And Stevie J is feeling like, you know, I was there just financially. You know, I had to get out there and I had to work. And so he basically tells him, you know, it really doesn't replace you being there physically. And so that's a theme, I think, a lot with these superstar children and stuff like that. You know, of course they have great upbringings as far as financially and having everything that they want, but sometimes their parent being absent isn't you know, worth all of that. So, you know, I really do like this groove that we're in now, where you have celebrities that want to be parents. They want to be great parents, and they want to show you that they're being great parents. So, you know, you can't really tell what's happening behind closed doors, but I'm glad they actually took the time to sit down and bury the hatchet, because out of everything, out of all the girls and now the creep, he's not even in this creep squad, so I don't know, I was about to say that, but out of all of this extra stuff that goes on in these reality shows, it is nice to actually see someone that wants to be better as a father or be better as a person. So that I do commend him on, even if it's just for the show. So we got to the next scene, and we got Jock meeting up with Cena. Cena is just, she is, oh my God. I want to say that she is probably the most plain chick that is on any of these seasons. She is probably the most low-key baby mama ever. She's probably the most low-key. She's just like, I got all my own real hair. I'm going to sit here on my pleather couch, and I'm going to talk to this dude about possibly being a third sister wife. And so Jock, they come, they're playing with the babies at first, and Cena calls her nanny in. How she get one? Because I didn't know Jock still had money like that. But anyways, Jock starts talking to her about Kirk and Rashida's drama. Why? I don't even know, because I guess it's a segue into the fact that he's going to talk about Jasmine, which leads into Rod. That's what he really wants to talk to her. He brings up Rod, and the fact that Rod said that he and Cena are getting really close. And she said, yeah, we are cool. We're pretty close. We're dating. So we find out that Cena is on board with being the third sister wife. Why, girl? Mona must got them checked. She didn't even look believable. She was like, yeah, we're dating. Do you believe me? Young Jock is like, you stupid as hell. And this is the first time I swear I have to agree with Jock. Like, I don't give a shit if it's for the show or not. Girl, no, that is not a good look. And he tells her that she bet not bring that nigga around her kids. That she bet not bring that nigga around them kids. And that if she brings the kids, my words can't come out today, y'all. That if she brings Rod around them kids, she gonna have to watch and see what he do next. But we'll see how this plays out. They leave. That's the end of that scene. The next scene, we got Stevie J stopping by the one-stop DNA shop on his way to the grocery store because he's going to take a mouth swab for a baby that hasn't been birthed yet. Side note, I didn't know that you could do that. Somebody get down in the comments and tell me how you're supposed to do a DNA test on a baby that hasn't been born yet. Like, do you do a blood test or like what? Like how does that work? Because I didn't know you could do a mouth swab for a baby that hasn't been born yet. Like, but he says that they're supposed to get the DNA test results back in about 7 to 10 business days. And he's starting to feel a little bit bad about the choices that he's made during Joseline's pregnancy, because if Bonnie Bella is really his baby, then, you know, he really missed some good time with Joseline during her pregnancy. And so now we cut to Joseline's women empowerment video shoot. Mama D's there. Auntie Dawn is there with her little short haircut gone, girl, looking like a first lady at the church. We got DJ M, she's there, and Mimi showing up. And Joseline thinks that the other girls, they need to grow up, because the fact that they didn't show up means that they haven't gotten over anything, and that its video shoot is all about women's empowerment. So she doesn't understand why they didn't want to show up. She's delusional at that point. And so Sierra shows up. She says that young Dro sent her over and that she's dripped in $15,000 worth of I have no idea what, and that she doesn't have time for the drama. So Mimi and her, they end up talking. Mimi wants to tell her about what she knows about her husband. Why? I don't really know. Like, I don't know why that's her place. But they end up kind of talking about their drama, and they seem like they're about to be cool. And then Mimi's like, but girl, since we kind of cool now, I have to kind of tell you a little bit about this, which this is stupid in the storyline. I don't know how they decided that they wanted to work this in, because it really didn't make any sense. She was like, now that we're kind of cool a little bit, I need to tell you about what I found out about your husband and Moriah. So she ends up telling her about what what Moriah told her about sleeping with her husband. So you cut to Joseline, Mama D, Dawn, and M over there in the corner like, girl. Their faces was ridiculous. They were like, oh. So they're arguing, and Sierra's like, I don't know, you know, what your goal is by telling me this. I think you're trying to be evil. And Mimi's like, what? This is the truth. Like, this is what I was really told. And so they get into another, like, little stupid argument, because I think Sierra's kind of in her feelings, which I would be too. If somebody told me that my husband was cheating on me in front of a room full of people and I had no idea about it. So they kind of their spat is a little bit whack after that. And after that, Sierra decides that she's going to walk out. And leave, because of course she wants to handle this thing with Shooter. So before we get to that, Dom shows up. She shows up to the video shoot, and Dawn sounds like she's trying to seduce everybody in the room by saying, you didn't want to tell me that Dom was coming to the shoot. And so, make a long story short, they squashed that little stupid ass beef. I don't remember what it was about. I guess because Dom hooked up with Dawn when she first got on the show, and that's when Dawn was mad at Joseline because Joseline kicked her to the curb. But then Joseline forgave Dawn, and then Dawn was fucking with Dime. I don't remember, but they squashed their beef. Thank God. It was stupid. And so Joseline's feeling like her video shoot is about to be a success, because she says it's all about pussy power. So we cut to the last scene where Sierra's in the parking lot, and she's heated because she's waiting on Shooter to pull up so she can confront him about this Moriah business. So Shooter, he pulls up, and Sierra's like, Mimi told me that you and Moriah slept together with each other. And Shooter's like, well, it really didn't happen like that, but I mean, I guess so. And he sounds stupid. He sounds like Bubba from Forrest Gump. You remember Bubba Gump Shrimp? That's what he sounds like. And so he says that he really wasn't feeling Moriah like that. Moriah was just a broke hoe, and it was just something to do. And so Sierra's like, I don't even know who you is anymore. Like, please tell me this ain't true. Like, oh my God, like, this is crazy. So then Moriah pulls up in her Uber minivan, unsuspecting, because she had no idea what was going on. So when she pulls up, she's like, oh shit. And so Sierra's like, so Moriah, you sleeping with my husband? And so Moriah was like, oh, so now I get what the point of that text, that 911 text is. And so she looks over at Shooter and said, well, you just not going to say your part in it? And then she has a super duck because Moriah was about to go for that ass. And so Moriah starts going off about and telling all the business, like, what about the money? What about this? What about that? So you're not going to claim me? You wasn't feeling me? And she seems to be more upset about the situation than Sierra is. Sierra ends up saying, I'm too player for this shit. Y'all go ahead and have that mess. And Mariah's still trying to get around the security guard so she can get at Shooter so she can snipe at his ass because she's upset because he's not really claiming her like he should have been. And she feels like maybe he should have been a little bit more concerned about the situation because he seemed to be more concerned when he was digging up in that twat. So she ends up calling him Ratatouille, and I guess we can safely say that that's the end of that affair. And so we find out, or she finds out, that Mimi was the one that told. And he was like, well, you over here telling Mimi. She said, yeah, I told Mimi. Yeah, I told Mimi. So they both end up looking like stupid idiots in the situation because this is the worst affair I've ever seen in my life. I mean, just the worst affair I've ever seen in my life. I mean, seriously. So Moriah goes ahead and she jumps back in her Uber minivan to go ahead and get home because the clock is still running and she's probably up on to about a half an hour or an hour on that Uber minivan. And Mona said that she only got an hour and a half, so she had to go ahead and get up out of there. I will say this is probably the driest episode that we've come across. Like, this episode was dry. Like, all this beef is stupid, fake, and contrived. And if I hear one more person go around talking about Kirk and Rashida's drama outside of Kirk and Rashida, and they haven't even met up with these people yet, like, I'm gonna pull out my damn hair out because it's just boring at this point. Like, this episode was really, really boring. I'm disappointed in Mimi. I am. Like, I mean, I get it. Y'all have to keep the storyline going somehow, but it's like y'all could have came up with something a little bit better than that. Like, it was whack. Like, I understand that you're married or whatever, but you don't owe that bitch nothing. Y'all don't even like each other. So I don't even know what the point in telling her was. Like, her husband ugly, Moriah not even cute, and if she keep on trying to force that blonde wig on us, girl, bye. Like, she really looks like something off Cartoon Network. But I'll end this review again with saying that, Scrappy, please cut that hair. Even though you weren't even on this season, it's still bothering me deep down inside. Kirk and Rashida, y'all probably need to go ahead and get a divorce, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. Sierra, girl, your blue dress was nice, but I don't know what you was dripped in $15,000 of what. I don't know. Shooter, you knew you ain't had no money, so I don't know what Moriah thinks that $1,000 is gonna do. Girl, you can't even pay a full month's bills with $1,000. I guess it's because it's Atlanta and the cost of living is cheaper, but it's whatever. Mama D, I was happy to see you on this episode. I missed you. I want some more Ernest and Mama D drama and Ernest Mama drama. I want to see that. And I can't wait to see Bonnie Bella. And that was this week's episode of Love and Hip Hop. Y'all let me know what you think. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure to check out my website at ampsthedeuce.com. That is AMPS, the THE, Deuce, DEUCE.com. And make sure to follow me on Twitter and Instagram at According to Amps. And everything else I do, I'll make sure to come and let you guys know. Until next week, see ya.